Hi, it's Randy here from Randy Cycle Service. I wanted to just kind of walk you through a quick engine rebuild on the bench here that we're doing right now, just to show you an idea of what we do. This particular engine is a CL350 Honda, 1974, and it is down because it had been parked for about 20 years. Now you can see the cylinder head before. This is pretty indicative of what we see normally. Not a huge amount of wear, but just really dirty outside. A fair amount of carbon on the valves inside. One thing that I like to stress is when we do an engine rebuild like this, we do a true rebuild, and we actually take it down, and cleanliness is of the utmost importance with this. And I'm going to show you what I mean here with a little bit further exploration of this. What we've done is disassemble this engine completely. It's down to the bare bones, and we wanted to get inside and make sure everything is correct. And again, a rebuild means everything is correct. So what we've done is actually stripped all the covers. Here you see the clutch cover, the stator cover, the chain cover, and the timing chain tensioner holder, and the upper crankcase cover. These covers obviously have all been cleaned very well, as again I stress cleanliness is very important. Also, they've been cleaned in preparation to get painted. These parts will be silver as they were originally. The inside of the crankcase is very clean, as you can see, and again this is very important because you can't have any dirt, you can't have any debris, and you can't have anything in there. Plus, when you go to do a rebuild, to fully inspect everything and be sure that it's correct, you need to be able to see it, and getting all that dirt and filth out of there is a very important thing. This area always is very caked with filth, usually from the chain grease and the combination of oil leakage and road grime and so forth. So again, you can see how clean this is now. All the gasket surfaces extremely clean. Again, to effectively seal the engine properly, you have to do this. Move down here, we've got a few parts that are going to get polished. Right now the old clear coat is yellowed on them. They have been washed and cleaned, so once they're effectively smoothed out, we'll get the few nicks out of this. We'll polish the aluminum down to the point where it's perfect and nice and shiny again. So that'll cover those parts. We move on over here, you can see the crankshaft has already been cleaned. New bearing installed on the outer end down here. And we've got these bearings greased and oiled, and they were in excellent shape. One thing that bears noting on these, particularly on Hondas and many other Japanese manufacturers as well, is that these bearings are selective, which means you can't just take one bearing, throw it in there out of another motor and do that, because they won't work together. These are various sizes and things from machining in the factory, and they need to be properly done. It's just a little nuance, but it has to be right. And these are also a pressed apart crank, very much like a two-stroke engine. You cannot take the connecting rod off of the crankshaft throw. It is a one-piece connecting rod at the bottom. All of our rocker arms laid out here, our timing chain. Here you can see the rollers from the left side of the crankshaft. These are the rollers for the bearing. This is the outer race that goes with it as well. And again, these are different thicknesses dependent upon the outside diameter of the crankshaft journal and the inside diameter of this bearing housing. And again, that's all coded, has to be correct. Clutch basket, we've got our stator over here. Here's our oil pump, nice and clean. Again, we've serviced the screen in that. Clean, clean, clean. I can't stress that enough. If we move on, we have our camshaft. We have our cam carrier. Over back here we have our main bearing cap. We have our two pistons. They've been decarbonized and cleaned. They'll get brand new rings. Again, this engine sat for about 15 years or so the cylinder bores had a few pits in them. We went ahead and honed that. Brought that back out like new again. Here are the cylinders, you can see. Again, very nice and clean. Everything's been cleaned up in between the fins as well. This will all be nice and ready to go when it goes back together. Got our transmission back here. All the gears have been inspected. Everything was in really good order in this. Everything will get put back together. All the clearances will be checked to make sure that everything's where it belongs. Lower crankcase half. Outside, of course, very clean. Inside, even cleaner. And we also have the final little bits down here. We have our valve cover spacer plate. We have a few pieces for the timing chain tensioner, and we have our starter, which is also going to get painted along with the other pieces you saw a moment ago. This pile is just old hardware. We're keeping it for reference. All of this will be replaced with brand new correct CAD plated screws to make everything look as it did originally from Honda. And there you have a complete Honda CL350 engine taken down to the very bits, and that'll be back together, and you'll see that bike featured on our website soon. So come back and take a look again.